Welcome back to the ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted as always to be joined by Gregory Dahl. We've just seen ANTO CACACE defeat Joe Cordina by seventh round stoppage to capture the IBF super featherweight title. Greg, good to be joined by you. The second upset we've seen tonight, after Ajit Caballero defeated Frank Sanchez. First question I've got for you, just thoughts on that stoppage. There was a lot of time left in the seventh round. But yeah, the referee had seen enough. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, delighted to join you tonight, Elliot. It's a weird one because I think for me it was a bad stoppage, but the only reason I think that is because I think that I think Cordina anticipated the shot still coming. He got hit upstairs twice, and Kakachi went to hit the body, and Cordina dropped his body down, so he was defending himself. Was he under pressure? Did he take a big shot before that? Yes. Maybe the referee seen something that we didn't, but I just thought that the stoppage was slightly premature.
Yeah. I think maybe Look, I don't necessarily disagree with you. Maybe the referee had the opinion that Cordina had taken a lot of shots. We had
Yeah.
only in round seven. But yeah, obviously the referee's made a decision, and that's final. I think the other obvious part of the fight to touch on, Greg, is obviously round three. Referee called break, and Kakachi looked like he hit Cordina with a pretty heavy shot. Yeah, talk us through it. What were your thoughts on what happened there?
Um, I'm trying to give Anthony Kakachi his moment and be really congratulatory. Right, let's just say I'm trying to give him props for winning the
Yeah.
fight. But I do think that that did change the fight a bit. I have to be honest, Elliot. If you get hit with a shot like that and then you get hit with another big one, that changes things. And for me, Joe Cordina was mostly in control of the fight up until that point. Um, when he hit Cordina, I did see him standing back a little bit, thinking, and it's natural. You see it so many times in boxing. So many guys get hit with the first big one, they take it, but the next big one, that's the one that does the damage. So I do think that it changed the fight, but I also want to say a massive congratulations to Anthony Kakachi because the amount of shots that he threw, he got hit with some big shots himself. He came back, he put pressure on Cordina. You have to take his hat off to him, but I do question that moment in the fight.
Yeah, of course. I think it's important. Like Kakachi's become world champion at the age of 35. He was a big underdog. Tonight, let's not forget that. So congratulations to him. But the fight, excuse me, wasn't without its controversy. But Kakachi's won the fight. That's happened. It's kind of nailed in history now, and he goes back to Belfast a world champion. What happens for Joe Cordina now, Greg? I think he was expected to win tonight. A lot of people, some people were saying before the fight, why is he still at super featherweight? So obviously, we posted that picture of him weighing in yesterday, looking a little bit worse for wear, perhaps. He's a two-time world champion at super featherweight. He's achieved a lot. Um, I'm sure he will finally move up now. I think he kind of has to. Do you think he can come back and have success at lightweight?
Um, yeah, Elliot, I do. I think he's a very, very good fighter. There was still times that I watched Joe Cordina tonight, and I thought the way that he moved and anticipates the feints, it takes a really good fighter to be able to do that. I can't tell you enough how difficult that is. Just to feint and move out of the way of shots the way that he did. It was really special to watch. But yeah, I think he's tightened the weight. You can see it so much, and I think he will have success at lightweight, but it's going to need to be the right time. I mean, I wouldn't go off the back of that throwing him in with Lomachenko up at lightweight. So I think it's going to need to be a gradual process. But yeah, I do see him having success at lightweight.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a really tricky one to discuss because I think we've just seen the fight end in pretty devastating fashion, haven't we? I think, and we all expected him to win. We all expected him to win, then it's not happened. What do you think is going to happen for Kakachi? Great. Do you think he can go on and have success as a world champion, have big fights, or not so much?
Honestly, Elliot, I think we see the rematch. I don't know why. I just think that it's one of those ones where there is questionable points in the fight, and it was a really, really good fight to watch. Both men had real good success. There was one point I was convinced that Cordina would go on and stop him, and then there was a point where Cordina came back into the fight, and I thought, he's going to go on. Sorry, Pikachu come on strong, and I thought he's going to go on and win this. So I'd like to see the rematch, and I think that that's probably where the money is for Kakachi as well. I think if you look at putting that on in a big arena in Northern Ireland, maybe Wales, maybe England as part of a big show, I think that's where the most money is for him. So honestly, I think that's what we'll see next.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest, like that thought hadn't really gone into my head. I was just thinking Cordina's got to move up now, but I think you make a good
Yeah,
point. Cordina's it's the only loss on his record, so surely he wants to rectify that.
yeah.
Now that you have touched on that, I do want to ask you, what do you think would happen? I think we've like how Cordina would obviously need to go down the well again and make weight again. Kachi's obviously will have a lot of confidence now. He's gone and stopped Cordina. What do you, if that rematch does happen next, would you favour a fighter in particular?
I think it's now 50-50, Elliot. I'm a big believer in rematches always go the same, but I do think that Joe Cordina's got that extra 10 or 20% to take it much more seriously. I do think he took Anthony Kakachi serious. I'm not saying for 1 minute he didn't. I do, but did he take it as the most intense fight of his career? I don't think so. So, yeah, I think it's a 50-50 fight going into the rematch, and I think both guys will know that. And yeah, I would look forward to seeing that if it got announced.
Yeah, interesting insight as always, Greg. Thank you for your time, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Take care.
Thank you, Elliot.